Welcome back to Today in Sports, where we give daily updates on everything that's happening in the world of sports. We're going to start things off in the NBA, where Nikola Jokic won MVP for the second year in a row, averaging 27.1 points and 13.8 rebounds per game. This is the first time in NBA history where an international player has won MVP 4 years in a row, with Giannis winning 2 back-to-back and then Nikola Jokic winning 2 back-to-back right after that. Before that, the record was 3, with Steve Nash winning back-to-back in 2005 and 2006, and Dirk Nowitzki winning after that in 2007. Next, the Memphis Grizzlies dominated the Warriors, winning 134-95 despite not having Ja Morant on their team. The series is now at 3-2, and the Memphis Grizzlies scored 77 points in the first half. 7 Grizzlies got in double digits last night, with Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones, and Desmond Bane, all three having 21 points for the Grizzlies. Dylan Brooks was next with 12 points, and Brandon Clark and Zaire Williams both with 11 points, and then DeAnthony Melton with 10 points. The Warriors couldn't hold on to last night's game, but still have a good shot in the series. The Warriors had 5 players in double digits, with Klay Thompson leading the way with 19 points, Jonathan Kuminga next with 17 points, Steph Curry scoring 14 points, Moses Moody with 10 points, and Damian Lee with 10 points also. Now on to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics. The Bucks beat the Celtics 110-107 in a close game. The series is now 3-2 with the Bucks leading, and despite the Bucks being down a lot of the game, they managed to come back towards the end of the game and win by 3 points. A couple late steals and swats from the Bucks helped seal the game in the last couple minutes. Giannis took a hit to the eye late in the game, but he managed to stay in and be healthy, and it didn't seem to bother him much because he ended up dropping 40 points and 11 rebounds, giving him a double-double. Jrue Holiday also had an amazing game, making everything look easy with 24 points, and then Bobby Portis had 14 points, Pat Connaughton had 13 points, and Brook Lopez, despite having a really good last game, only put up 2 points. Jason Tatum led the way for the Celtics with 34 points, and Jaylen Brown had 26 points. Marcus Smart with 15 points, and Daniel Theis with 11 points for the Celtics. The NBA is renaming the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals MVP Award, naming them after Magic Johnson for the Magic Johnson Western Conference Finals MVP Award and the Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals MVP Award. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird's rivalry helped grow the popularity of the NBA in the early to mid 80s, having faced each other 3 times in the finals in 1984, 1985, and 1987. The Eastern Conference trophy is also getting a new name, named after Bob Cousy, who was a point guard for the Celtics from 1950 to 1963 and briefly played for the Cincinnati Royals in 1969 to 1970. He won 6 NBA championships with the Celtics. The Western Conference trophy is also being named after Oscar Robertson, otherwise known as the Big O. He played for the Sacramento Kings in 1960 to 1970 and played for the Milwaukee Bucks from 1970 to 1974. He became the top scoring guard of all time with 26,710 points, which puts him at the 13th overall for most points scored all time. Both were great on the court and off the court, becoming early presidents of the National Basketball Players Association. That's all I have for the NBA. Now on to the NFL. The schedules for next season's games are starting to come out, and Week 1 has been completely released. The Bills are facing off against the Rams in the first game of the season, and the Thursday night primetime game of the season is a rematch of Russell Wilson on the Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. But an impact may be made in that game because Jerry Judy was arrested and charged for second-degree criminal tampering with domestic violence enhancer. In other words, it means he tampered with somebody else's property with the intent to harm or inconvenience them. The logistics of this case aren't released yet, and we aren't sure exactly what he did, but the fact that it was domestic violence leads us to believe that he was having a fight with a family member or somebody that he lives with, which could have led to the cause of what he did. There's nothing proven yet, so he is still innocent until proven guilty. The Patriots are trading backup QB Jarrett Stidham, who at one point was looking to be the replacement for Tom Brady, to the Las Vegas Raiders, along with a 2023 7th round draft pick, and the Raiders are giving up a 6th round draft pick to the Patriots. That's all I have for the NFL. Now on to the MLB. The Cincinnati Reds are on pace for 126 losses with only 7 wins and 24 losses to start the season. The record for most losses in a season is 134, held by the Cleveland Spiders in 1899. It doesn't help the Cincinnati Reds case that there are more games played now than there were back in 1899, but they're not on pace for 134, so hopefully they can stay on pace and not have the worst season in MLB history. The rankings for the MLB, starting with the American League, the New York Yankees are leading the East at 22-8, the Minnesota Twins are leading the Central Division at 18-13, and the Houston Astros are leading the West at 20-11. In the National League, the New York Mets lead the East at 22-11, and the Milwaukee Brewers lead the Central Division at 20-12, and the LA Dodgers lead the West at 20-9. That's all I have for the sports news of today. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I'll be back with more sports news tomorrow.